Hello and thanks for joining me on Sport Pilot James Glenn on another exciting episode of Sport Vibe on DNT. Welcome bringing you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sport every Tuesday, as is our tradition to do so. This week won't be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned because we'll be right back shortly after this break. The Premier League is back as we kickstart this week's episode of Sport Vibe on DNT Walk. I know we definitely enjoy our weekend for football lovers. It was an interesting one across Europe as we witnessed so many football played over the weekend, and we'll still be witnessing some played during the week. As we start from the Premier League, we talk about the newly promoted side who were able to defeat West Ham 3-0. Sunderland were able to get a crucial win in the beginning of the 2025-2026 season to be able to start that season with a vital 3 points ahead of West Ham United, who were humiliated 3-0 in the opening match of the season. For them, it was a critical 3 goals and also a critical 3 points for the Sunderland side. And in the Premier League also, we talk about Tottenham Hotspur under their new manager Thomas Frank. Remember that they were defeated in the Super Cup by Paris Saint-Germain in that particular encounter, but in the Premier League they were able to get their 3 points maximum point and also scoring 3 goals against Burnley, the newly promoted side. Thomas Frank side have started playing the way we think they will be playing this season. They have set up from a defensive perspective, and also in their midfield they have been able to create small chances, with Mohamed Kudus getting so many flair and so many touches in the midfield, and was also able to create a chance for Richarlison, who was able to score brace in the opening season of the Premier League. Richarlison ahead of Dominic Solanke. Richarlison has shown so many positives in the beginning of the season. Remember, in the match against Paris Saint-Germain, he showed why he started that match, and also against Burnley he was able to score beautiful goals courtesy from assist from Mohamed Kudus, who has shown the Brazilian flair to be able to provide an assist for the Brazilian striker Richarlison. Will he be leading Tottenham Hotspur all through the season, or will he be able to continue with this incredible form he finds himself at the beginning of the season? Remember, there has been so many speculation over Richarlison for him to move away from Tottenham Hotspur, but with this relationship between him and Mohamed Kudus, could it be another relationship to look out for? Liken it to the relationship of Heung-min Son and Harry Kane, an interesting one for Tottenham Hotspur, starting the season with a crucial win against Burnley and getting the maximum point. And also talking about the defending champion in the Premier League, we talk about Liverpool Football Club, who were able to get a crucial win against Bournemouth in the opening match of the 2025-2026 season. This was an interesting one also for them, as we saw Bournemouth coming from behind to get a 2 draw at some point in that particular match, but Liverpool showing why they are the champions of the Premier League and why they are also the defending champions currently going into this new season. Were able to come from behind to end that match 4-2 in their favor. But in that match we saw their new signees Ugo Ekitike making the difference. He was able to score and provide an assist for Kudikapu. He has already started making his own impact in the Liverpool team and in the Premier League. Is an interesting one for him also. Remember, Richarlison was able to get a brace over the weekend. Nketiah was able to get a goal and an assist over the weekend. An interesting outing for him. And also talking about the Premier League, and still in the Premier League, we saw Ryan Cherki scoring in the Premier League. He was able to come from the bench to score a goal against Wolverhampton's Wanderer in the Premier League. Manchester City has also started the Premier League with a win after getting a 4-0 win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Also, we saw Ryan Diaz scoring a goal, and inevitably we saw Erling Haaland being able to find the back of the net in the opening week of the weekend. I'm talking about something that is inevitable. Mo Salah in the opening week match of the 2025-2026 season has yet again found the back of the net. You know, he has been consistent doing it over and over in the last 6 seasons in the Premier League. Mohamed Salah is inevitable in the opening match of the Premier League. An interesting one for Liverpool, an interesting one for Manchester City, who has been able to get the better of Ryan Cherki and Reinders finding the back of the net in their opening match of the 2025-2026 season. We saw Ugote Iketike scoring also in the opening match of the Premier League against Bournemouth. An interesting one for them. And quickly let's switch our attention to the La Liga, where we saw Barcelona defeating Mallorca 3-0, and we saw Marcus Rashford making his debut in the La Liga, though he couldn't make so much impact in the La Liga side Barcelona, but we saw Lamine Yamal scoring a beautiful goal and also providing an assist for Rafinha. They have started from where they stopped last season. Will Real Madrid be able to step up and equal the task this season under Xabi Alonso to put up a challenge for Barcelona as the season will be going forward in the world of football? But quickly, let's go on a very short break, and when we're right back, we continue from where we stop.
JK Royal Signatures, a blend of African fabric.
Welcome back, and we're still talking football. Bayern Munich were able to win the German Super Cup after defeating Stuttgart in the finals of that particular competition. Remember that a goal from Harry Kane and Luis Diaz, who just moved from Liverpool to Bayern Munich, was able to serve as a vital one for them to win their first title ahead of the new season in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich has been able to win that under Vincent Kompany, and they'll be having their eyes laid up to win so many trophies this season. Remember, at the Club World Cup, they were able to make it to the quarterfinals in that particular encounter against Paris Saint-Germain, where they were defeated. But they are looking to build on the momentum. They have been able to sign players. After we saw Klesi Coman leaving for Al-Nassr at the transfer window, they have been able to get the signature of Luis Diaz, who started making impact in the Bayern Munich side. Talking about impact, so many players have been able to make impact for their squad in the beginning of the new season, but we can't say the same thing for Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyokeres for Arsenal Football Club, who was unable to get a shot on target against Manchester United in the game that favored Arsenal. Arsenal played awfully, but were able to get a maximum point, winning Manchester United 1-0. In the Premier League opening season match between these two on Sunday, we witnessed an incredible performance from Manchester United, where we saw the likes of Cunha, we saw Mbeumo making some moves up front for Manchester United, but it was quite difficult for Manchester United to break down the defense line of Arsenal Football Club. People will argue that Arsenal Football Club are solid defensively, but I think they are also poor in the midfield, where we saw the likes of Odegaard underperforming in the heart of the midfield for Arsenal Football Club against Manchester United. Who would have thought that Arsenal were finding it difficult to break down the midfield of Manchester United that had the tire legs of Casemiro in that particular spot? And we saw Bruno Fernandes playing deep, while we saw Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo play in the number 10 position for Manchester United. This was a positive one for Manchester United at the beginning of the season when you talk about their performance, but looking at the results where Arsenal Football Club were able to get the better of Manchester United, and I would insist that Victor Gyokeres was unable to get a shot on target for Arsenal Football Club. In fact, he was not in that match against Manchester United. He has failed to make impacts like Ugo Nketiah, and he's not alone. Talking about people that failed to make impact, we saw Benjamin Sesko being brought on for Manchester United at his 65th minute 5 minutes after Gregorius was substituted, and Benjamin Sesko also looks to be struggling in his first match against Arsenal Football Club and in his first match for Manchester United. These two may be needing time to blend into the Premier League match. You know that the Premier League is quite physical, as we witness Delete fighting tooth and nail with Victor Gregorius, and in fact Delete was able to get the better of the Arsenal striker in the Premier League, which means that Arsenal Football Club has started the season with a win against a top 6 and a top contender in the Premier League. Whether you like it or not, Manchester United have the charisma and have the record in the Premier League and in the world of football. And also, quickly talking about football, we switch back to the Spanish La Liga, where Atletico Madrid were defeated by Espanyol over the weekend. We saw a beautiful free kick from Julian Alvarez for Atletico Madrid, but Espanyol were able to come back from behind to win that particular one, 2-1 in their favor. I'm talking about the champions in the UEFA Champions League. We saw Paris Saint-Germain being able to get their win against Nice, where we saw Vitia scoring the only goal in that particular encounter for Paris Saint-Germain. The season has started with big teams making differences in the world of football, and we have seen signings finding the back of the net, providing assists in the world of football. But this is the length at which we'll be going on this week's episode of Sport Vibe on DNT. Well, for more news and sports stories, follow us across our various social media handles at Sport Vibe on DNT Walk. Remain safe, remain a law-abiding citizen. Enjoy your week. Thank you.